question on the show sheet you sent over early this morning. If I say early, the show sheet you sent over this morning, asking a question whether or not Castellanos, they're asking whether or not fans like Nick Castellanos. And I was like, why is he asking that? And now I see why. You're onto something. There's some real split opinions on him. And like when teams fail, I'm often surprised at how much the best player gets blamed. I tend to look at the bottom of the roster and feel like, it's players who aren't as good that are letting them down. But the one guy who said they just can't win. There was a guy who said they called up and said they will not win important games with him on the roster.
I don't know how you can make that determination.
Well, let me put it to you like this. If you took him and traded him right now to the Houston Astros, would that doom the Astros?
No.
Right? I mean, they're a team that has World Series aspirations, looking to repeat.
They just won the World. Yeah, they've got.
Let's say Josh Reddick gets hurt in right field and they make a move for Castellanos for whatever reason. Does that mean the Astros aren't going to win?
Not going to stop them from winning.
248-539-9797. Let's go to Ken in Brownstown. Hi, Ken.
Hi, guys. Beautiful day.
Yes, it is.
I don't know if you remember last year, Osmus had Nicholas Castellanos batting second. He's not a second batter, And I think that threw off his batting and his fielding. Finally, around midfield, or in midseason, he changed him back to like sixth batter. And I think that took the pressure off him, and his hitting, started improving. I don't know if his fielding did. But this year, he's only been out there a month, and we got 5 months to go, and I think he'll steadily improve in right field. So, like I say, I think he's a great player, and the Tigers shouldn't even think about trading him.
I don't know if I'd go that far as say.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can make yourself better, I have no problem with trading him.
Well, he certainly didn't hit well in the number 2 spot last year. He had the most at-bats at the number 2 slot, 197, and he hit 223. That was no good. At number 5, he had the second most number of at-bats last year, 109, and he hit 248. But batting third or fourth, batting third, he hit 304 and 92 at-bats. Batting cleanup in 98 at-bats, he hit 378. Batting cleanup last year. This year, he's batted third or fourth for the most part, or I should say, he batted cleanup for the most part this year, and he's hitting 309 this year.
Correct.
I think offensively, he's really coming into his own. Defensively, absolutely, he's got to improve. But he's also got the time to improve. This is exactly the time you want. The team isn't going anywhere. You're right. The team isn't going anywhere this year. What better opportunity than to play him out in right field 150 games? To let him learn his craft out there, because he doesn't have many games under his belt playing in right field.
Right. 1 month, and he's got 5 months to go. He'll steadily improve.
From the Karsch and Anderson inbox, you guys are making more excuses for Castellanos than a prom date. No approach at the plate. Consistently chases first pitch breaking balls out of the zone. 2-strike approach is awful. He'll never be a great pro, only an average player.
Yeah, he's hitting 333 with runners in scoring position. He's hitting 309 for the season.
How does this guy, honestly, how's this guy hit the ball? Like, he's not a perfect player.
He's not. And here's what he is. He's a good offensive player. Is he a great offensive player? No. You reserve the word great for guys like Miguel Cabrera, Mike Trout, right?
But he's a 26-year-old who, again, is off to a decent start.
Yeah.
Might have his best year at the plate.
And he has yet to really start with the extra bases, the extra base hits. He's got 6 doubles, 2 triples, and 2 home runs. So 10 extra base hits in the first month of the season. Those numbers will improve. He's going to hit more balls over the fence. He's certainly going to hit more doubles. And it's a guy who hit 10 triples last year.
Now, there is truth. He does struggle with 2 strikes. I'll give you that. But by the way, I mean, everybody with 2 strikes, their approach changes and they're not as good. But first pitch swinging, he's hitting 375.
And his strikeout rate is gone down. He struck out 142 times last year in 614 at-bats, and this year he's got 24 strikeouts and 110 at-bats.
Here's a question, though. He says we're making excuses for him, and I want to know specifically what he thinks is an excuse, because I think what we're doing is we're pointing out what he does well along with what he does poorly, whereas this guy is just pointing out what he does poorly.
Yeah, I'm not making an excuse. He's got to get better defensively, but again, he's got the opportunity to get better defensively.
But also, if he doesn't, is he worth having in the lineup? Like I said, if he's playing for Houston or he's playing for Boston or he's playing for a team with that World Series aspirations, is that fan base saying you can't win, period, with Castellanos in right field?
Now, maybe people are upset because they think that he doesn't have trade value and they want to trade him, because who's going to take on an outfielder that can't play the outfield or can't play it as well as they want him to? Mm-hmm. I think, of course, he'd have trade value. He's 26. He's under team control, and he's done well offensively. Does he have as much trade value as other players? No, because defensively there is an issue there.
I'd love to know what excuse we made for him. What excuse? Like, I've told you what I think a definition of an excuse is in sports, and that is bringing up something that has nothing to do with it as the reason why. And I've often cited this story, and I'll do it again. Heard a story about a basketball player who, pregame meal, he wanted eggs, did not like bacon for breakfast. And the pregame breakfast meal, they had a tray at the hotel that had eggs in it, and the other half of the tray had bacon mixed in with the eggs. And so when he went to get his pregame meal, he couldn't eat it because the eggs on the left side of the tray had touched. There was no line of delineation between those eggs and the eggs with the bacon in it. Couldn't eat, played like crap, post-game
that threw
mentioned
him off, man.
That, to me, is an excuse. Has nothing to do with anything as to why. But if a player gets hurt and is struggling, sometimes I think, okay, is that an excuse or is that a reason why? You know? If an offensive line allowed an immense amount of pressure on a quarterback and he had a bad day, are we making excuses for the quarterback, or are we pointing out that, you know, he kind of had the card stacked against him? Where's the excuse we made for Castellanos is my question. Maybe there's one I forgot, or I don't think that somebody else seems as an excuse, but 248-539-9797. Jay and Howell, you're next. Hi, Jay.
Hey, thanks for taking the call, guys.
Sure.
I'm a Tiger fan. I've been to many games down there. Nick Kessel, that guy's he's good with the fans. He gives balls to the kids. I mean, I seen him take one over to a handicapped kid in the chair, but not just that. I'm talking, people are probably complaining, the ones that complain, they really don't know what the hell they're talking about, because if you thought about trading a guy who hit 309 with 333 runners, man, what the heck do these people in Detroit want? I mean, they're trying to rebuild these guys. I bet the guy just work on his defense this year, but yeah, go up there and hit the hell out of the ball. He's not cocky. He's not afraid of the pitcher. He's walking out there just kind of going up to the plate like, okay, yeah, I'm casual. I'm gonna come up here and I'm gonna rip one off you. He's not cocky at all. It's just people don't understand.
I think he might be cocky.
He might be a little cocky.
I think he might be a bit cocky.
Well, I don't know. You can call it cocky, or you can just call it being like, you know, that pitcher knows you're coming up and you're going to go out there and you're going to hit his best stuff. You're going to see his best stuff, but you want to drive it right down his throat too. So
yeah,
I think he's a player that is producing, and you got to give this guy time to, his defense will improve over the year. But this guy is a good hitter. He goes up to the plate, man. He's not scared of the guy on the mound. And I just think if you trade somebody away like that, man, you're not building your team. You're hurting your team.
Well, I'm not going to say he's untouchable or untradeable. It depends on what you're going to get back.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that either. But it sounds like the majority of people want him out.